So if you guessed what I was trying to whistle, even though I did it very poorly, please leave me a comment. I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds. Don't cheat now. Okay, if you guessed it, it's that whistle from Kill Bill. And I've been channeling that movie. I've been getting images of Kill Bill, especially that scene where she is in the hospital and they send an assassin after her. It's a whole thing. Honestly, if you haven't watched Kill Bill, it's one of those like must movies that you have to watch. It's very iconic. But anyways, the reason I'm bringing this up is because that is the energy that we are channeling today. This energy is coming through as you've been through a lot and you feel like you're about to be tested again, right? There's this energy of, I feel destroyed. I feel like I'm dying inside. You may be feeling like maybe you are going to need some downtime to recover. And there is an embracing of trust this week, but you have to pay yourself first. So that's very important. Putting yourself first and knowing that, yes, there is going to continue to be tests. Also, you've been passing. It's been difficult. Okay, if you watch Kill Bill, you know that the people that come after this girl, it is difficult. She ends up breaking everything's scars. Like, she gets thrown off things. Like, she goes through it, but she comes out stronger and she gets closer and closer to her goal at the end, and nothing can break her spirit. So that is the energy of this week. And if you are new here, my name is Soledad. I am a psychic. I channel your angels and spirit guides to help you find clarity, put you on your most aligned path. I also do divine feminine coaching if you're in twin flame separation. All about the things that I do are going to be in the description box, along with a list of how you can protect yourself. We have an incense going back there. I also have a candle, and we have protection mist. We have a lot of protection around us, but the reason I bring that up is because not a lot of people know that you do need to protect yourself, even during virtual readings like this one. Okay, that's why I always have that resource down there, so make sure to check it out. You can literally just even get a cup of water, but this is your weekly tarot horoscope predictions where I pick out some tarot cards. We also connect with your angels and your guides. And this week we're doing something special. We're connecting with the fairies. I'll explain why in a little bit, but the fairies are going to help you just get through this week. And again, I'll explain in a little bit. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I tell you what energies are around this week, what days are best to rest, what days are best to like seize the day, what energies you can work with, what lessons, like where you should be directing your energy, basically. Sorry for the really long intro. Yeah, so don't forget to subscribe because I do these every single week. I was really late last week. I'm so incredibly sorry about that. Yeah, and then all the timestamps are down there as well. So, but I love doing these, okay? This is just like the best time ever. We do like to have a little drink, so I am drinking my mate. I don't have any in here right now. There's a little bit in there. I also had some matcha earlier. So, you know, get your little drinks out, get a blanket, find a comfy spot. Or if you're driving to work and you're listening to this on Monday morning, which I don't think I'll have it up by Monday morning, I do apologize. So maybe you're leaving work and you're listening to this. Thank you for spending this time with me. And let's just get into it, okay? Because we got some stuff. We have a new moon. We have a new moon on Friday. We're going to talk about that in just a second with the crystal of the week. But first, let's talk about the vibe for the week. This is the general vibe. This is a message straight from your higher self, and we'll go into the specific days of the week. And then finally, we've got some angel messages. And instead of doing a spiritual message, like I said earlier, we're going to work with the fairies. So stay tuned for that one because that is super interesting. We're going to make a pact with the fairy. We're going to talk about that. That's going to be if you choose to do so. It's your choice. But anyways, it's the vibe of the week. So remember how I was saying you have to pay yourself first this week? Ooh, my fingers. This is heavier. This is heavier than I thought. Let me hold it like this. So it is important to embrace what needs to be done for you to take care of yourself internally. There has been these blocks in the collective lately. And if you follow me on here or even on my other social medias, you know that I've been talking a lot about that. I've been talking about divine feminine blocks. These are like emotional blocks. And then there was this energy of like neglecting your inner development causing these kinds of blocks. So this week it's about embracing all the shadow work that we've been doing, right? Because of the full moon energy, we've been really honing in on shadow work. And so this week is an embracing week and we're integrating, right? So find peace with your current state of being. So even though you may not see everything exactly as it is, as you want it to be right now, this is about accepting and surrendering. And surrendering, there's a few things about surrendering that not a lot of people know about. One of the things is that surrendering is not giving up. It's not moving on from something, it's moving forward. It's being honest with what is true to your heart, honoring that, and being okay and trusting. So it's a lot of trusting yourself and trusting the universe and accepting. So that's really important. Take rest when you need to. Listen to your body, mentally and physically unwind. We've been doing a lot of work as a collective, okay? I'm proud of you, because if you've been listening to the other weekly updates, you know we've been at it. We've been transforming. We've been removing emotional blocks. Our spirit guides, our angels have been giving us so much great encouragement on how to manifest these things and what's standing in our way, and having these tough conversations, right? Because we are on a path of enlightenment. We're on a path of growth. We are also tiptoeing back and forth on these different timelines. And some days it can feel like you're great, you're on track, you're high vibing, and the next moment, same day, you feel like you're backtracking, like you're 3 steps backwards. That's okay. That's normal. That's part of the process. That's the energy of October. That's the energy of November. And that's the energy of December as well. We'll talk more about that as the year ends, and we'll do like a closing out reading, because you know I like to do my monthly updates. So December's is going to be really great. And if you haven't watched November's monthly update, I'll link it here somewhere. It'll also be in my description box, because this is an amazing month. And so let's actually talk about the crystal of the day, and then we'll go into like the weekly energy, because we have the Moonstone, and we have to talk about this right now. This is so significant because we do have a new moon on Friday in the sign of Taurus. I'm a Taurus. It's my sun sign. I have a lot of Taurus in my chart, a lot of earth and air energy in my chart. I'm a Taurus sun, Libra moon, and Gemini rising. Let me know what your big 3 are down in the comments if you want to share. But the reason I mentioned that, there's relevancy here, okay? It takes one to know one, okay? And I know the energy of Taurus very, very well. And even though a lot of people like to stereotype Taurus as being lazy, Taurus are not lazy. We are hardworking, dedicated, determined people. Energy, right? But we procrastinate. That's where the laziness comes in. We procrastinate, but it's because we feel like we do our best work once we're well rested and taken care of. So even if you're not a Taurus, that's the energy of this week. It's very Taurians. So the Moonstone is actually super interesting, because the Moonstone also is associated with like the water signs, right? And so I'm always thinking of like Cancer with the Moonstone card coming out. This week is all about attracting new things. If you're attracting love, this is a great time to manifest a partner or to manifest growth in your current relationships, right? Rose quartz is a great crystal to work with right now. This is a time of growth. So yes, we are pushing ourselves, but we're not just growing on one aspect. We're not just focusing on physical material things. This is a time of taking account all the shadow work and integrating and embracing it, right? By acknowledging the great emotional and spiritual growth that you have done, because that comes first. It takes time for our physical reality to catch up to what we're trying to manifest in the ethers. That's why manifestation isn't instant, right? In a lot of cases, it takes time to, especially when it's a big manifestation, it takes time to manifest big things. And so right now you may notice this week that you're manifesting more effortlessly, that blocks are being removed, that you're seeing more clearly because you're calming your emotion. You're not so focused on the emotional. You're not so focused on the mental. You're not so focused on the physical. This is a week of balancing out. Okay. And remember, November's energy, very powerful. You can literally manifest anything you want this month. This is such a powerful time to really tie up any loose ends. And again, I talk about that in the monthly reading. So definitely something worth checking out if you're interested in that. But I also wanted to talk about some of the colors that we have in our energy this week, pink being one of them. Okay, pink is innocence, but it's also a very calming. There's actually a study done. There's a specific shade of pink. I can't remember which one. They found that the testes, that's kind of a funny word, testes. No, the people in the experiment, I forgot, oh my God, I'm having such a brain fart, but you know what I mean? The people who were in the experiment, when they were exposed to this certain shade of pink, it actually helped them calm down and make better decisions. Such a great study. It's so real because like psychology, neuroscience, manifesting, spirituality, they're all connected. So a lot of spiritual things like manifesting can be backed up by science. And it's actually kind of crazy when you really look into it. I was a psychology major. Well, I was a biochemistry major, then I switched to psychology. And yeah, So it's interesting because it's something I've always been interested in and always had that kind of background knowledge on it. All right, let's go into Monday's energy because we got some stuff to talk about. We've got some stuff to talk about. Oh, connecting with music this week is going to be really good. So if you have been having trouble focusing, this is the time to pull out those lo-fi, those like concentrating music playlists on YouTube that are like free and wonderful and amazing. This is your time to really like use sound to heal and to manifest. It's so important. I actually have a bell somewhere. I think it's over here. Every time I try to ring it, it doesn't pick up on the microphone, so I'm wondering if it does now. If it doesn't, I apologize, but I use this during my personal readings to heal and to clear out energies. This is going to be a really good time for using sound again, frequencies to help you stay on track and everything like that. Okay, so Monday's energy. Monday's a little bit slow moving. Actually, isn't it a holiday? Isn't it like Veterans Day or something? Oh my goodness. Happy Veterans Day, you guys. Thank you for your service to all the veterans. I have friends that are in the military. I have like quite a few friends, and like I have friends that are also like in other countries' military, like they're from other countries and they're in their country's military. So I always love to be thankful for the service that they do and the wonderful people that they are. Even though I don't agree with the military as an institution, I do appreciate the people that work in it. Anyways, so we do have the Knight of Coins, which makes sense. It's a slower moving energy. This is also a noticing energy. So this is going to be a really good day for you to focus mentally. Maybe you want to do some journaling, maybe you want to do some meditating, but really take account of what has left your life and what is coming in. Great time to start writing down what you want to manifest this week, okay? And what it's actually going to take. So this is a very practical, mindful, realistic energy. The Knight of Coins is slow on purpose because they're checking all of their boxes. They're dotting their I's and crossing their T's, okay? They're going to choose the best, most effective path. And they're going to take the lessons that they learned so that they can take the clearest path ahead, right? So this is about getting mental clarity. And the Knight of Coins is really going to help you choose that path and look forward. So use this energy as a forward moving, positive energy. Don't get too stuck on what you don't have. Focus on what you can build and what you do have to build those things, right? Tuesday's energy is a little bit interesting. We got the Hermit in reverse, and actually Tuesday and Wednesday's energy, well, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday kind of go together because for Wednesday we have the King of Cups. We'll talk about that in a second, but I wanted to kind of tell you, like show you guys kind of how it all meshes in. And even Thursday, right? We have the Ace of Coins on Thursday. Again, I'll talk more deeply about that in just a moment. But the reason that this is significant is because the Hermit in reverse right now, I'm reading it intuitively, right? As an energy of you being rewarded for coming out of your shell, for getting out of your comfort zone, for doing things a bit differently. So for example, I was kind of like stuck between a certain view level on TikTok, and I was used to having more success in the past. So this whole like last couple of months, right, since August, I've been trying out different things to get myself motivated to not only like put in the work creatively and show up more authentically, because that's something really important to me, and honing on my craft. So I've been doing more work on like growing spiritually and things like that. But I've been really focusing on doing things that are outside of my comfort zone to show more of my authentic self, parts about myself that I'm like, oh, it's not that it's not me, it's that I just don't do that in front of other people, or I only act that way around, I only bring this energy up when I'm filming a video, or when I'm with my significant other, or when I'm with my family and being silly, and you know, so that's kind of the energy, is maybe showing lighter parts of yourself that you're normally afraid to show because it's going to pay off. So getting out of your comfort zone is going to be really important. Not all of it has to be scary, but it's more like showing new light to parts of yourself that you normally don't deem worthy, or that you normally are scared to show. Maybe you don't think that being silly, like whistling on camera, like brings any value. But I started seeing a lot of results by just being more of myself authentically. Not really worrying about the material like view counts, and actually just showing up more in myself and in my energy. And you know, of course, the prep time, doing things beforehand so that I can show up authentically and taking care of myself is important. So again, it's kind of like you can't do one without the other, right? So that's the energy for Tuesday, is kind of saying, okay, how can I show up authentically? How can I get on this path and perhaps do some things that are outside of my comfort zone, that are outside of my inner circle, that are outside of what is the norm for me? How can I kind of take these little risks and can experiment? And this is in a major way, right? Something that you normally wouldn't do. You may also get some news this week, I'm getting, of something that is either out of your control or that you're no longer willing to accept. There's this energy of breaking a boundary or setting a strong boundary with yourself. Like for me, in order to stay motivated, I set strong boundaries of having a good morning routine and giving myself the time to focus on me in the beginning of the day, because I know that during the day, my family, my business, my partner, all those things take so much of my energy that at the end, I always feel like I have nothing for me. So now I prioritize me in the morning, and I do it in a time where it's convenient for me, but also other things don't really require my attention, right? Obviously, it's just an example, personal example. Let's move on to the King of Cups energy for Wednesday, because this is talking about significant emotional growth. Okay, this is talking about now that you are on Monday analytically choosing clearer, more practical paths, more effective paths. You're really like integrating in that way. And then with the Hermit in reverse, you're coming out of your shell, you're putting in more work. The King of Cups is that rewards. And it's also this intuitive hit of, oh, okay, no, now that I'm on that path, I can see even more clearly now. So as the week progresses, you're going to start really seeing and feeling, right? You're getting these intuitive hits, these ideas, these things, this inspired action that you want to take because you're putting yourself first. You're taking care of your needs. You're learning to prioritize better, and you're getting rewarded for it. Because on Thursday's energy, we have the Ace of Coins. So the first half of the week, you're going to have a lot of breakthroughs. The King of Cups energy, again, is very masculine energy with the Knight and the Kings and the Hermit. It's very much like breaking the mold. Like you kind of already know how to play the game, and now you're breaking the mold and like perhaps creating your own game. Maybe there's a better metaphor for that. Yeah, it's kind of like, when you're trying to learn something and you're just like sticking to like what you know and what you're being taught. But then when you get really good at it, you can kind of like not make up your own rules, but integrate other things and perhaps create something better. That's kind of the energy that's coming through. So with the Ace of Coins, I see an opportunity coming in this week. Don't say I didn't warn you. See that Taylor Swift song, Blank Space. It's like there is this opportunity that you feel like is yours. It's been here, and now the door is finally opening. Things are coming to you more effortlessly. If you're able to surrender, rest, and plan, and then take the action that you need, okay? It all works in together. So with the Ace of Coins, new opportunities, new ideas coming in. Yeah, I love that for you. A lot of like emotional, spiritual growth leading to change, which is wonderful and amazing. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Friday's energy, we have two cards for Friday this time. We have the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands is like that underdog energy. So there may be people around you that don't see the vision that you see. You're manifesting. So you're also being advised to kind of keep things to yourself and not really share too much of what's going on with other people this week, because I don't think that other people are going to see what you're seeing. They just don't get it. The girls who get it, and the ones who don't. And like there's people who just don't get it. And this is also a separation of, remember how we were talking about setting boundaries? This is also knowing how to separate who belongs where and which space in your life. There's some people that, belong in your life when there's good times. There's some people that take care of you emotionally. There's some people that give you really good financial advice. Maybe you have a friend who's a tax advisor, so you come to them and you have really good conversations about like the tax code or whatever, right? Or maybe like you have like a family member who's like really good at like painting, so you hang out and you paint, but you would not talk to your tax friend about an emotional thing because one, they may not have that capacity, not everybody does, but two, it may not be something that is aligned for you guys. It may not be the vibe for you guys. It may even cause a drift between you guys because it's like something so new. And so this is like, don't force things and accept people for who they are and what they bring to the table. And so reciprocate that energy. So on Friday, we have that Three of Cups energy, which is like, yeah, there's some friends that you can go out and have fun with, and those are great people. But then there are friends that are not going to understand what you're doing for your work. They're not going to understand why you chose to, marry that certain person, or why you're choosing to move, or why you're choosing to leave your job or not leave your job, right? Some people are they're just not going to get it. And you're going to feel like the more that you try to express yourself, you're going to see that it's turning more into a defensive energy, which is like repelling your manifestations, and you don't want that. So be selective of who you tell things to, and it's not about pushing people away or completely saying, oh, well, They just don't get it. They don't understand, especially now with the whole election and the politics thing. It's really important to know, like, if somebody doesn't believe or see the way that you see things, it's not about dismissing them. It's not about being divisive. It's about saying, okay, well, now I know that we don't see eye to eye. We can try to understand each other, but we're going nowhere. We're going in circles. And in fact, it's getting worse. We're getting more passionate. We're getting more emotional about things when we really just enjoy talking about, our favorite like reality TV show. Like we were really into that mom talk gossip. Now all of a sudden we have different political views and it's ruining what we had. We had a good thing going. Okay, so we're not ignoring the bad stuff, but we're learning when to share certain pieces of information specifically. And when it comes to major decisions that you're making, and when it comes to what you've been trying to manifest, especially in love and in work, for a lot of you, if there's a big change you've been trying to manifest, it's coming, but not everyone is going to get the vision. So just protect yourself from evil eye, from jealousy, things like that, and have fun. Okay, go out with your friends. Take a break from all the serious stuff. I see that this is a fighter energy. Like you guys really want to push through, and sometimes there's only so much that you can do during the week. Okay, I'm sorry if that was like super long and like a huge tangent, but I felt like that was a really important message. I almost burped, and burping is a sign that we're on the right track, right? That's like confirmation spiritually. Okay, so Saturday's energy is about boundaries, choosing yourself first. We have the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords also talks about, I'm getting the word deception, but that's not normally what the Queen of Swords is. But I am seeing you're seeing the truth not only about the path you're choosing, but about the people who are in it. So you might find that there were some deceptions around you that you couldn't see before, or you might be grieving deceptions. You might be grieving separations. You might be grieving the past, because the Queen of Swords is really good at boundaries. She's very intelligent, but she also is a card that represents somebody who is grieving either a divorce, a separation, or something like that. So on Saturday is the perfect day to just take the day off if you need to, and to set your boundaries with people. Be like, yeah, I went out on Friday, I had a great time, you guys. Or with work, set your boundaries with work. I had a great time working on all these projects, but now is my me time. Okay, now is your time to go meal prep, or to go on a walk, or stay in bed and rot all day. Do it. You deserve it. No one's gonna judge you. Not I, at least. And then we have the Eight of Wands on Sunday. Eight of Wands is fast moving energy. So on Sunday, you might see things coming in and out of your life because of all the work that you've been putting in, not only this week, but the past month. We've been really going through this big shadow period, and now you're being illuminated, and so are things around you. So with the Eight of Wands, you're going to really feel that energy of a shift. It's like intuitively you're picking up, so wow, I can't wait to do next week's energy check-in, because it feels like that Sunday energy is like revving us up for something big coming in next week. So make sure to subscribe so that we can do next week's weekly check-in. I'm going to try my best to post next week's check-in on Sunday morning so that you guys can get it ahead before the week starts. But wow, that was such a good energy there. Yeah, so the energy is changing. Things are coming to you. You've passed, okay? You've unblocked the blocks. You're learning, you're growing. It's amazing, beautiful, wonderful. You're amazing, beautiful, wonderful. Okay, so before we get into the fairy stuff, and I promise you we're going to get into it. I'm going to explain it. Let's give you your angel messages. And remember, the angels, they're very real, okay? Whenever I do readings, like the angels just be roasting people. And I feel like people don't expect that. Where they're like, wait, what, I have an angel? Yeah, everybody has angels. And also your angels are very real because they are the miracle workers. They also see you. They're with you all the time, whether you talk to them or not. It's fine. Some people's angels, I see them and they're just bored out of their minds. They're just like, she never talks to me and she's just always doing the same things. So it's actually really interesting how the angels are like very blunt to the point, because they want to get things done for you. They're not here to play games. Not about you. Not about you. So anyways, because you've been watering your garden, taking care of yourself, your angels want you to know that they are helping you bring in your manifestations and abundance. We have the Bountiful Nature card. Spending time in nature helps shift you to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite wisdom and abundance. And go outside and enjoy a walk or hike with your pet, meditate beneath a tree garden, or sit under the stars, or do some activity to connect with the limitless vastness. We were talking about that. So this is kind of confirmation on those things that we were talking talking about earlier with meditating and all that, and taking care of yourself first, okay? That's what, if you want the mental clarity, you got to do the work beforehand that leads to the mental clarity, which is taking a break, you know, breathing, having that space, make space for it to come in, right? Okay, and then we have exercise to increase your energy manifestation abilities. Yeah, I love this card because it's always like the angels want to give you the world. Everything you want is being illuminated to you. Birds could be a sign too. You might be seeing birds in pairs. So number 2 is very significant. It's because you're coming into union with yourself, right? The key to manifesting quickly. I love that that's the message. I didn't see these beforehand, by the way. I just kind of picked them and like started filming this. I love this because one, like bunnies could be significant, and I think like bunnies represent like that quick moving energy, but that's what we've been talking about. It's like you're finally getting into your manifestations. It's the perfect time to manifest. On Friday, we didn't really talk about like how that energy relates to the full moon, but as you can see with those cards and with like the angel messages, sometimes rest is productive is what I'm hearing. So, and sometimes not working is productive too. So sometimes we want to manifest things, but we're standing in our own way because we're just focusing so much and we're not detaching from the outcome. So on Friday, the quickest way to manifest is for you to detach and surrender fully. So that's my biggest tip for you. Sometimes you feel like you're fighting alone. That's okay. Don't put yourself in situations where you allow that energy in, and actually put yourself in a situation where you can let loose for a little bit and have some fun. Go out with people that give you good energies, that feed your soul instead of take away and feel drained. And that's how you're going to manifest really quickly. You don't have to do like some crazy full moon ritual or spend the day journaling, or, you know, if you want to do it. I'm probably going to go to the beach or like hang out with my crystals or something for sure. So that's one way to do it, but it's not the only way. And that's what I want to get to. Okay. So the key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels. And the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you'll look forward to exercising and it becomes its own reward. Amazing. So now let's talk about the fairy energy. The reason I'm changing it up this week, and maybe we'll go back to like the more spiritual higher self cards that we normally use, is because I've been using these fairies like cards in my own personal readings with my clients, and I've been seeing really amazing results. So the reason I say we're making a pact with the fairy is because this is the card that the fairies want to help you with. Before I show you and explain the fairy cards, I want you to take a moment to meditate. Put on like a little timer and think of something that you really want resolved, a problem that you want resolved, okay? And really incorporate you letting go of that problem and imagining how good your life could be, or how you would feel if that problem was all of a sudden resolved without you putting in any effort. And it's crazy because this is the problem resolved card. Problema resuelto. Problema resuelto. The R's. When you roll your R's in Spanish. Problema resuelto. So this is the fairies letting you know that they will solve the problem for you, to help bring in those manifestations, to give you that sense of clarity. But they're going to ask for something in exchange. Before I read what the exchange is and the affirmation that they're going to give you to practice this week, I'm going to give you a little story about what happened once I used this card on a client. We've got some really good ones, but this is the one that really blew my mind. There was a client that I was doing, I did this reading for them, and finally I was like, you know what, like I have these fairy cards that are calling to me. Do you want to work with the fairies? I always ask first. They said yes, and they had been trying to manifest some money and this big change, right, that they're looking into, right? And they felt really stuck. They felt like there was something coming, but they just didn't have access to it. So we pull out the fairies, and a card came out, not this one, a different one, that was talking about like volunteering, connecting with Earth, and like spending your time with Mother Nature. So when we looked further into it, basically it said that if you are able to spend some time volunteering or helping Mother Nature in some way, that we will help create the environment to open up multiple paths for you to solve the problem that you're asking for right now, which was insane. We didn't get it in the moment, but then a few days later, same client messages me and is like, hey, at my job, this was the same time that the hurricane was passing by, at my job, they asked me if I wanted to volunteer to help like the hurricane, like the disasters and all that stuff. And it just reminded me of the card and how the fairies wanted me to invest in time. And I think this would be perfect. 2 weeks later, she got 2 opportunities to make a good amount of money, a few $1,000s that she did not expect at all. So that is something that I wanted to incorporate this week because it may help you. Okay, so think of this as like a free reading for you. Okay, so let's see, the problem resolved card. I love this because this is in alphabetical order. One more. right here. Okay, so first we're going to talk about the meaning of the card. So it says a problem that you've been worrying about is being resolved behind the scenes. So you're not going to have to put any effort to this, right? This is literally the epitome of I don't chase, I attract. The solution is creative, genius, and a surprise, and a happy surprise that is important to you. Okay, so the fairies are saying that there is an issue that has been bothering you. If you did the meditation before I showed you the card, then you would have seen and imagined that issue. So in exchange for them helping you and your guides unblock this, they want you to completely detach and let go of this issue. Don't focus on trying to fix it. Just focus on staying grateful. So gratitude is going to be really important. Every day, think about something that you're grateful for. Despite, isn't that funny? Because we were talking about earlier how to not focus on what you don't have, focus on what you do have. Yeah, I love full circle. We love when that happens. They're saying that the resolution is coming. If you have been trying to manifest some sort of sanction when it comes to an intense relationship or tense communication, right? If you've been trying to resolve your money issues, your economic state, a health issue, maybe there is, I don't know why, there's something about somebody being new to your home or something like that. Interesting. There's a new opportunity and a new romantic offer coming through. So if those have been things that you've been working on, the fairies are saying it's getting resolved. Literally this week it is getting resolved, okay? And the universe, literally heaven right now is what they're saying, because this fairy deck works with God. So I just want to let you know, God, universe, is saying that they're coming through with a very creative solution that's actually going to make you laugh when you realize what is happening, and that everything is basically going to make it a win-win-win situation. Okay, so if it's a difficult situation between you and a person, or between you and an ex, or you in a situation, your work, whatever, it's going to be a win-win-win. It's not going to be a win-lose, or a lose-win, or a lose-lose. It's going to be a win-win-win situation. But the fairies need you to let go, to enjoy the good spirits that you're going to be in, right? Enjoy your excitement. Stay within gratitude as you allow the universe to bring this into you. So it's allowing, it's detaching, it's surrendering, and it's enjoying your life, right? And so the affirmation that you can use this week is, pido que todos los efectos de los errores y malentendidos se deshagan tanto en el pasado como en el presente. I ask that all of the effects of the errors and the misunderstandings, deshagan. Hold on, I need to Google that word because I know what it means. I just don't know the exact translation. For my bilingual girlies, do you do that? Because I do. I be doing that. Let's see. Oh, undo. To undo. Okay, hold on. Let's just reread this. I ask that all the effects of the errors and the misunderstandings to be undone in the future as much as in the past as in the future. I tried my best, you guys. Pido que todos los efectos de los errores y malentendidos se deshagan tanto en el pasado como en el presente. If you enjoy this, don't forget to check out that monthly reading. Don't forget to subscribe so that we can look into next week's exciting energy that is coming through. Put a little fairy emoji so I know you made it through till the end. And I have other readings planned. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you want to know what I'm going on. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to share it with somebody. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.